Well, I've got to be honest with you here. We're a third of the season in, and this is going beyond my wildest dreams at the minute. We're performing above all expectations. It's very similar to the Luton side in real life in this 05-06 season. And while it's not in the same competition, we've also got a bit of a reunion with one of the most famous games that Luton had in that decade. That'll be saved for the next episode, though. For today, we've got a look at the big M1 derby. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 4 of Let's Retro from FM06 with Luton Town. We are back with the original championship dream, and the dream is threatening to go very well at the moment. We are in third place, as you can see, after a third of the season. The goals are flying in. We're just not losing. Even when we're behind in games, we're finding a way to nick a draw. It's just going fantastically. I don't remember FM06 going this well before. But Warren Feeney's become a god, Steve Howard is becoming the greatest assist king in the world, and we are flying up the table. As you can see, possibly from the home screen, you may remember a famous FA Cup game from this season in real life. It's one that still gets talked about now. Luton Town 3, Liverpool 5. Well, we've got through to the fourth round of the League Cup, and guess who we've drawn? We're off to Anfield to face Liverpool. We'll see if we get any sort of replica of that. But before then, we've got 2 games before the November international break, away at Craig Levine's Leicester and at home in a derby against Watford. And we've also pre-agreed our first January signing as we start to look at building for the future rather than just the here and now. So if you're looking forward to all of that and you're still enjoying the series, do chuck a thumbs up on it. But for now, let's go and have a look at the transfer news and at the fixture list to see what's been going on. Because if we have a look, you can see how well we're playing. Most of our team is now wanted by other teams in this division. But through the fixture list, it has been an interesting 6 games since you were last here. We picked up 4 points out of 6 from our first TV game of the season and the whole match, which you saw on camera. And since then, the unbeaten run has continued. 3 wins, 3 draws. And again, we've managed to cope with those midweek fixtures and still pick up a point in one of them. We won 2-0 against Derby in the first game of October. Warren Feeney, of course, popping up with a brace in that one. We then drew 2-2 at Crewe, and this game sort of was the one that gave me the confidence because we came back from the international break. We were 2 down in 15 minutes. We looked awful for an hour. We brought on some substitutions. We chucked on Edwards and Morgan. We had the injury to Chris Coyne, which didn't help. But it was just a brilliant display in the end. Nichols and Howard, 2 of those big names we talked about stepping up. And we managed to get a point out of a game where we were second best for over an hour of it. Then we came back with a 4-1 victory against Burnley, which was just a ridiculous display. Ahmet Berkovic, Warren Feeney, Steve Howard and Dean Morgan all getting a goal before back-to-back games against Ipswich, starting with a 2-2 draw in the league. Feeney and Howard combining up front to score again, both assisting each other's goals as well. And then a 3-0 win in the League Cup as we went strong again in this one. Kevin Nichols scored 2, Steve Howard got 1. Sort of banked on the fact that the international break was coming 10 days later and most players would get a rest at that point. Last time out, we drew 1-1 against Sheffield United, and this is another week with a midweek game, so I might just rest 1 or 2 today, just to make sure we're in decent nick when we get to the Watford match on Saturday, albeit that one's 4 days away, and then we've got a pretty interesting run of fixtures, and we will be back pretty soon after, because Liverpool away, I've got to show you that one, haven't I? Might just rest people for it, try and enjoy the day out, and hopefully continue our fight in the league, because it is becoming a bit of a fight in the league. And as we get to January, just 2 months away now, we want to help our side out when we get there. And if we have a look at the transfer news, we have got, hopefully, a future transfer coming in, because Chris Brunt found his way onto the transfer list at Sheffield Wednesday. Might be a seasoned pro in real life. We'll hear 20-year-old just breaking into the Northern Ireland team. And it's the one position we don't really have a natural backup left winger. He can play naturally on the left of a 4 and further forward, and he's probably better in the role that we play at the minute. And very similar to Paul Underwood, who's obviously losing his pace, he's over the hill a bit. He's an incredibly good crosser of the ball, got a great corner taking attribute as well, really good technically, and then solid across the board everywhere else and a little bit quicker. So while he maybe hasn't got the versatility to cover at left back, I just think for the long term, this is a great signing. And for this season, we'll provide a good deputy for Paul Underwood as well, who we have missed a couple of times. We've had to play either Enoch Shawumi out on the left wing, switch Berkovic over. It's still worked out okay, but it's not ideal. So we want to be a little bit more careful with that. We've got everyone fit. FM06 seems to be a little light on big injuries. You're only getting those that are sort of 3 or 4 weeks every now and then. I say that we'll probably get tons today now. But so far, this has just been the perfect season. We're making money. We're improving the bank balance. We're not spending all of the wage bill. We've not spent all of the transfer budget. So when those players like Chris Brunt do pop up and they're on a transfer list for 15, 20 grand, we can just go and nick them and they look like superstars. It even gives us the option in January, perhaps, with Paul Underwood out of contract this year. Do we think about, can we sell you with 6 months to go? Or do we try and keep you as a backup for 1 year? Because there are some big clubs after them who are maybe chasing promotion or looking at pushing up to the Premier League. And if we can say, let's keep our star players and get our money in for a Paul Underwood or a Sol Davis, for example, then we might be able to push on without losing one of the biggest stars of the team or one of the ones who's going to improve massively in the future. All of that is to worry about in the next few episodes, though. For now, we are going straight through to a big double header. We start it away at Leicester City, who have had a bit of a disappointing start to the year. They're down in 13th place, but they have picked up form recently. And the Championship is classically tight at this point. So they're down, even down to Wolves in 15th. There are 7 points between them and us in third. So a couple of defeats here, and it could look very different in a few weeks' time. Let's go and have a look at the tactics. We'll see how fit people are. I am cautious of the conditioning because we've got Warren Feeney out injured. We don't want to lose too many more. Dean Morgan has been doing pretty well. He's improving, but match fitness has been an issue at times. I think what I might do for this one is look at Enoch Shawumi on the bench, although he's not really fit either. And he has been struggling a touch. I maybe should have sold him when we had the chance in the summer. But I just wanted that pace and that backup left winger, not knowing that Chris Brunt would come in. Keith Keane and Steve Robinson are the options in the middle. Might go for a different option in this one because Keith Keane then does give us a backup right back if we need it. And he hasn't been playing brilliantly in recent weeks. We've also got the fullback struggling a touch. It's a tough one to call this. I think I might go for the first 11 because I think if anything, Robinson might be the man for the Watford game because he's just not aggressive at all. So we're going to stick with this team. It's the usual 11. Lee Grant still doing fantastically in goal. What a summer signing he proved to be. Then at the back, we've got Foley, Davis, Heikkinen and Coyne. Carlos Edwards came in midfield in the weekend fixture. Ahmet Berkovic had a little knock. I think I might leave him out of this one as well, just to make sure he's fit for the weekend. So Edwards, Underwood, Keane and Nichols will be the midfield four. Then Stevie Howard could do with a rest up front alongside Dean Morgan. And actually, I'm really struggling with where to put the bench here because the fullbacks are struggling for fitness. Then we've got Keith Keane and Nichols to worry about, but Howard's an issue too. So Rowan Vine might have to pick carefully where we bring him on today. Let's get through to the match regardless though. We can't afford any more injuries up front. We certainly can't lose the assist king, Steve Howard. Well, into the game we go, and look at some of these names. They've got a very young Neda Manua on loan who rejected us to go there. They've got the likes of Ian Hume up front, who was always a good performer at this level. And Peter Gilbert, a left back that I always used to sign in a couple of FMs later, about FM08 I think it was. With a couple of minutes gone, it's been quiet so far. God, they've got Rab Douglas and Dion Dublin at the bench. Alan Mabry as well. There are some legends in this one. As Silla puts the ball in early, Heikkinen deals with it. And Anua's got there at right back. Finds Hughes. Chance to shoot. It's a good save. That moved all over the place. Great goalkeeping from Lee Grant. And he gets it away. And Morgan almost nicks it. That could have been one hell of a counter-attacking chance. Joe Hamill's offside. The chance is gone. But thankfully, the first opportunity snuffed out by the goalkeeper. Dion Dublin, just 36 here. Still got a little bit in the tank up front though, hasn't he? He's no Steve Howard, but he's pretty good. Let's see if we can hold on for now. It's been a worrying start, to say the least. As the ball goes forward towards Steve Howard, still only 8 minutes gone, loses out to Patrick Kisnorbo. And here goes Good Johnson through to De Vries. He's broken free. It's a good save the first time and a second. I thought that was going in the empty net. Over the bar it goes. And Lee Grant has saved us twice already. We've now got to be worried about fullback because Sol Davis has picked up a knock. And this was my concern. Fitness ahead of Saturday in the big game. I'm going to go for Leon Barnett because he's our youngster. I'll show you what his different attributes look like here. Martin Craney is probably improving more, but he's not our player and he's a natural right footer. And I want to keep a bit of balance and a bit of pace. So let's go for that. Leon Barnett's in. With 10 gone, we are under the cosh at a minute. Well, 20 on the clock. It's a throw at left back for Leon Barnett. Short to Kevin Nichols. Underwood's down the line, but he crosses himself. Deflects to Dean Morgan. It's a first good save for the Leicester keeper today. Paul Henderson had to stretch wide there, and he manages to save it. 20 minutes gone, and we're back in the game. That's what we want to see. Not playing particularly well, but we always create chances. Just weird that first game of the season we saw, there was nothing at either end. Without changing any of the tactic, we're seeing chances galore at both now as Hume picks the ball up in a dangerous position. We know he's got a shot in him. He's also got a great pass. That is superb vision from Ian Hume. He did the whole defence there. De Vries puts it in. It's a brilliant goal. Can't begrudge Leicester the lead. They're a good side. They've been underperforming. I'd expect them to start picking up the table soon. As Keith Keane gets the ball to Dean Morgan. From the kickoff, we try and go at it. But it's nicked back by Silla. Nichols flies in though. Good sliding tackle. Back when you were allowed to. And good Johnson on halfway finds Silla as Leicester break free. But Leon Barnett does well. Howard gets up. Can't win it. Leicester's centre-half's dealing with his aerial threat, which doesn't help us as Hume's shot goes miles wide. It is interesting. It was about this time in real life where Luton started to fall away from the top of the table. Will it happen here? Will lightning strike twice? Well, Steve Howard's flicked on. I nearly called him Dean Howard. It's Dean Morgan he's passed it to. Morgan back to Howard. It's brilliant defending. Probably should have just tried to shoot himself. Forced himself a little wider. But the ball back across goal was good, and it was magnificent defending from Kisnorbo. Because Howard had a tap in there at the back stick. And that's probably the best we've created all game, and we didn't even get a shot away. As Hume breaks free, he's looking a real threat here, isn't he? Oh, that's not far away. Not sure Lee Grant had that one covered. 1-0 with half an hour gone, but it's opening up. And since we've conceded, we have had a great opportunity. As Howard will go up for this one as well. He's losing them more often than not today. That does not happen usually. De Vries puts one wide. I just don't have a good feeling about this game. Dean Morgan struggling physically. We've just seen that as well. And with Watford's come in 4 days, it is not the time we want the unbeaten run to come to an end. Half-time whistle has gone. It's been a relatively easy game for Leicester, according to the commentary. That is the first time a lot of our ratings have been in the sixes at the same time here. You look at the shots, we've had one opportunity on goal and then one great one where we didn't get the shot away. Leicester are in double figures already. They're dominating the ball and they've got a slightly bigger squad as well, which doesn't help. As Foley throws into Edwards, we're pinned back by our own penalty area and that clearance is towards Howard. I'm not sure he's the man we want running the channels though. Johansson's going to go back towards his keeper. Oh, almost caught out. Maybury gets there, does well with it in the end. They've changed goalkeeper. Was the keeper injured? They've subbed the goalkeeper and Neda Manua. What a weird decision. I don't think I've seen that before in this save. It's in towards De Vries who heads wide. But we've got a bit of detective work to do because why on earth has Paul Henderson come off? Well, to be honest, I'm even more confused now. I've gone in to see why he's gone off and he's not played a game all season. He's not their first choice keeper. Rab Douglas, the number one, has. And he was match fit. So had he had a little knock or a cold or something? I don't know. But he's definitely their best keeper. He's definitely the number one. That's one of the most bizarre things I've seen. And I've not seen a keeper substitution yet this year. It's not just something I'd forgotten about from the game. I am going to make our second sub though, because Dean Morgan is struggling. So Rowan Vine will come on for him up front. We do lose a little bit of that pace through the middle, but we'll live with it. And we'll also, I've got to make the choice here. Do I go Berkovic back to first choice on the right? Or do I go for Steve Robinson to come on for Keith Keane, who's also not having a very good game, to add that creative spark? I think I'm going to trust Keane. We'll go back to what I deem to be full strength with Berkovic. He has popped up with some moments of magic this year. With half an hour to go in a game we're not playing well, it would be nice if he could deliver it here. We've got a chance to defend this one with Gilbert. And De Vries gets the ball wide to him again. It's in towards Chris Coyne and he's left it for Lee Grant, who thankfully deals with it. There was a moment of panic there. Grant will look for the counter-attack. It's towards Rowan Vine. Kisnorbo doesn't beat him to it, but there's no one on the flick on because normally that'd be the other way round. And with Rowan Vine not being as quick, it doesn't help out. Does give us extra height in the box though. Underwood plays to Howard. It's a great tackle again. They've dealt with our forward threat so well. It's not often we struggle to score. But Chris Coyne's doing the defending here. We've still got a chance in this game. It's only 1-0. Barnett up to Vine again. They're just snuffing out our direct style of play. Better than any team we faced this year. Every ball that goes forward, bar the first one that created that Dean Morgan chance, they've basically dealt with easy, haven't they? As Heikkinen finds Nichols into Keith Keane. Out wide to Foley. Big switch of play to Barnett. Into the box towards Rowan Vine. He's up with the keeper. Johansson wins it though. Again, the two big men in the box dealing with it. Keith King gives it to Berkovic, the sub. Gilbert wins the tackle and now they're away. Hume's dropping in. He's got space to run into. Finds De Vries. Chris Coyne across. Holds him up briefly, but there's space in the middle now. Heikkinen wins it second time. Rowan Vine flicks on. Keane goes up. Nichols can break away. This is the chance. It's up towards Vine. Turns and goes wide to Berkovic. Howard's in the middle if he can find him. Ahmet Berkovic to the byline. Crossing towards Howard and Underwood. And it's just tipped over the bar. Of all people, Paul Underwood is the one to win a header over Kisnorbo. And in the end, he's forced a corner kick, which he will take. Heikkinen loses out. We didn't really aim for it there. Underwood in again. That's straight at Rab Douglas. The corner delivery seems a bit random in this game, I must say. No matter what you make your tactic. But unfortunately, God, look how high we've left everyone. Thankfully, the Douglas kick is poor. It's straight through to Lee Grant. And he can start again with Leon Barnett. And then we've given the ball away with a poor kick forward. Hume turns on it, though. It's a chance for Leicester again. Hughes into the box and he shoots early. I'm glad he did because it was an awful effort. It's comfortably wide, but we are seeing loads of this game. This is one we're seeing highlights every minute or so. And not many of them are for us, which is the worry. That one's over the bar, and it still stays 1-0, but don't see much sign of us getting back into this. And now, we've got to deal with the big doob up front. Dion Dublin, Holmes under the hammer is here. And Hammer on the left-hand side. As Johnson gives it away to Berkovic, breaks away to Vine. Just not got that pace in behind now. That is the difference. As Foley finds Berkovic. Can we find the height in the box? Berkovic to the byline. Howard's up. Steve Howard heads wide. He wins it. That's a positive sign, but he doesn't look confident according to the commentary. And he's put that off target. That is not ideal. I'm not sure we're getting a better chance than that. 5 minutes to go. It's a throw-in for Leicester. They've got us where they want us, though. Coyne heads away. And Underwood, that's out for a corner kick. Not ideal. They get a second now. There is no chance, I'm afraid. Hamill's on duty. Delivers to the front post. Heikkinen wins it. King can break away. It's not really aimed towards anyone, just back into danger. But Kevin Foley gets there. Fine down for Berkovic. We don't make anything of it as Gilbert throws into Dublin the sub. All that experience to hold the ball up. All those properties he's sold, and look at him now. Foley breaks away though, gets it to Rowan Vine. He's in the channel. Does he win it? Not quite. That's where we needed the legs. Paul Underwood wins the second ball. Howard up against Mabry. Doesn't win that one. It's back towards Rowan Vine again. Lovely turn on Johansson. Rowan Vine in on goal. It's a good save again. Rab Douglas saves the day. I thought we were going to nick something again when we don't deserve it. We did it in the last away game. We almost did it again now. Leicester City win 1-0. It's the end of a very good run. But to be honest with you, we didn't deserve a result. And we missed a couple of glorious chances. We're missing Warren Feeney because he is the goal machine up front. Let's hope he's fit enough for a place on the bench on Saturday. It's the rivals Watford coming up. And I really don't want to lose that one. Well, the 3 p.m. games have all been played and we are back at 5:30, having dropped to 5th in a championship. But a win today takes us back up to 4th and within 3 points of the top 2. Are we going to be able to do that, or will Watford move to within 2 of us? We've got some bad team news because Paul Underwood picked up his 5th yellow card of the season. Seems to be incredibly aggressive for some reason. And Keith Keane is willing to remain at the club, but is feeling pressure at the moment. So it might be a day to drop him out, as we suggested before. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring Enoch Shawumi in for pure pace on the left. We're going to switch Berkovic back in on the right. Probably need to look at the conditions here as well. We're also going to take Keane out for Robinson because I want that experience in the middle. And then Rowan Vine will have to stay on the bench up front because Warren Feeney has still got a week out. So he'll be back after the internationals. But the man who scored 13 in 13 being missing is probably why our goals have just started to dry up. Morgan and Howard will continue to lead the line. The back 4 is fit. Sol Davis fine after coming off early in that game. So just ended up being good experience for Barnett, if nothing else. With a couple of players out, we are limited now. I mean, you look at the players off the bench there. Beresford, Perrott and Holmes, they are the emergency backups. Holmes has played a couple recently, but there's really not a huge amount of quality there. And in fact, I might even put Holmes on the bench for this one because Keane can be an auxiliary defender too. Just want to give us a few more options going forward if need be. So pretty much the same team defensively and up front. But in the middle, Kevin Nichols, the only man to remain. Shawumi out of position on the left, but electric quick on the break. Then on the right, it's Berkovic back in. and the experience of Steve Robinson alongside. Let's hope we can avoid defeat against Watford, who have got our former player Matty Spring, who then became our future player as well. Bit of an interesting career he had. Up front, they've got Giuseppe Rossi on loan from Manchester United, the original wonder kid back in the day. Brian Dean is up alongside him, who they've obviously signed with experience in mind alongside. And then at the back, the likes of a young Jay Demerit, who was very highly rated in this game. Ben Foster in goal, back when he was 22 years of age and already very good. And then Graham Alexander at right back, another former Luton Town man. Let's go and get through to the first half, see if we can avoid defeat in the derby. Will we get that performance? Will there be that frosty reception for Watford? Or are we going to start to fall away now? Dean Morgan has nicked the ball off Jay Demerit early on. This could be a start. Jay Demerit recovers well. Got to give him credit. Made amends for his mistake. But we are starting aggressively as Foley throws into Morgan, who dropped deep. Back out to Foley again. Big ball in towards Shawunmi. And that is another benefit of him playing on the left. He's got a lot of height at the back post. He's 6'6" or whatever it is. And he's massive in the air. So hopefully gives us an additional threat. That one goes wide. He's back out there again as Nichols finds Howard. The two big experienced pros through the spine of the team delivering. We've got a corner kick. It's been all Luton Town so far. That's exactly what we want to see. Robinson with a corner. Heikkinen flicks on. Oh, it bobbles along the goal line. Berkovic back in again. Heikkinen can't make it. And Brian Dean gets it away. Giuseppe Rossi, he's going to lose out to Nichols here surely. Well done from Kevin Nichols. Dean Morgan offside. 15 gone, all Luton Town. Nothing to show for it just yet. So we are pushing forward again as we've got a free kick on halfway. Davis gives it to Shawunmi. Just turn and run. Alexander's about 34. No, 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 no. Where did the keeper go? And what is happening? Of all the games for that to pop up, Enoch Shawunmi with the most ridiculous back pass. Why, oh why would you do that today? He gets the ball from Davis from the throw, and that is the problem with the suspension to Paul Underwood. We are very light on the ground in some areas when it comes to backups. We've not really got any depth behind a lot of key players, and while the Underwood one will be resolved in January, it doesn't help us here, as this time, to be fair, Shawunmi clears off the line. But we've not got a natural backup to Howard or to Nichols, or unfortunately to Paul Underwood, as Morgan gets it wide to Berkovic. Can we get back on terms? I really don't want to lose this one. As Berkovic plays a 1-2, that's not a foul. Handball. Behave yourself. Referee's a Watford fan. 10 minutes to go to the break. We find ourselves one down to the most ridiculous of errors. As Shawunmi loses out in the air again. Out towards Sol Davis, who wins it back, and now Steve Robinson finds Berkovic and Chris Coyne. I mean, it's fairly patient, but what's it leading to? Howard flicks it on. Shawunmi's there. Chance to be the hero again now. Davis will try and work down the line. He's giving it away. He's too slow. And he's not getting back quick enough either. As Stewart breaks down the left to Matty Spring. Out to Stewart again. Watford trying to hit us on the counter when being outplayed. Devlin's in. It's a great save. Lee Grant has made a superb stop there, because that game could have been out of sight. Brilliant stuff from him. But we are really performing poorly. Sol Davis at left back wins the challenge. Down the line to Howard, who's not going to get there. Jay Demerit should mop up. Let's hope for a bad back pass there. He's giving it away to Howard. Into Morgan. Oh, he's missed. Oh, how do you not score that? 1-on-1, 6 yards out. The whole goal to aim for. Oh, man, of all the chances. And Morgan scored a fair few this year. Was brilliant from Stevie Howard. As we win it back on the left with Shawunmi. Does well to find Davis. Up towards Howard again. Loses to Jay Demerit, but finds it back to Sol Davis. Can we create one more chance and get back on terms before the break? Howard loses out yet again in the air. It wasn't quite towards him. But Steve Robinson wins back. Morgan chases, but he's not going to make it. Kevin Foley does win it though. Howard goes up, knocks down for Morgan. Chance to shoot, finds Howard again. Steve Howard, oh, come on. Come on, you can't miss chances like this. They are two of the best chances you'll ever see. And both strikers have missed one. Oh my words. The team's pride is at stake. You've got to do something, boys. But where on earth has that come from? A terrible back pass and then two of the worst misses you'll ever see. Why Chris Coyne's got the worst rating, I don't know. He certainly wasn't at fault for the goal. Watford have picked up an injury. Malky Mackay on at the back. We might have a bit more pace than them again there as Heikkinen flicks onto the side netting. And it stays 1-0 to Watford. Not ideal. but we are having a good game, and Shawumi's picked up a knock now. We are fast running out of options that can play on that left. As Brian Dean gets in, might not matter soon. It's another great save from Grant. I mean, we've dominated the game, but on the counter, Watford have looked a real threat. You've got to be fair. They've got a corner kick in again. Play it short, though. Robinson might nick this. Gives away a foul. That's poor. What are we going to do with a sub? Shawumi off. I think we're going to have to switch Berkovic over. He's not convincing out there, but he'll do the job. And we'll go for Carlos Edwards on the right-hand side. Well, 25 to go. Watford with the throw-in. Sol Davis losing the flick onto Giuseppe Rossi, but Berkovic will get there. And Coyne goes for the big ball forward towards Morgan, who's got acres of space. It's a good flick. Howard can't beat Demerit, though. Good defending. And Kevin Foley will have to start again at right back. Has support down the line, but again, just dallied on the ball. Stewart's nicked it and Rossi's away. Foley recovers, though, and then gives it away to Brian Dean. Giuseppe Rossi in. Few of the young players suggesting signs of nerves here in this one. And unfortunately, I feel like this might be the time it starts to crumble, just as it was in real life. We're going to get the subs on in a minute. Let's just see out this corner. Devlin into Brian Dean. Beats Howard. It's a great save from Grant. And we've now got to make some very sharp decisions. We're definitely going to take off Morgan, not Steve Howard. Or do I? Because I want pace at the back. Let's go for Vine alongside Morgan. Let's try something different. And then Keith Keane will come on for Steve Robinson, who's not been at his best despite coming back in here. Hopefully Keane gives a bit more defensive bite to win the challenge, but also pushes us forward with those young legs. 15 remaining. We need something, that's for sure. Dean Morgan dropping deep again, up towards Vine. What can you do to earn a place in the team? Wide to Carlos Edwards, the substitute. Back to Foley, chance to cross. He's too slow again. Nichols wins it back though. Morgan, Vine, shoots and scores. Rowan Vine's the hero. Talk about an impact substitute. Rowan Vine has delivered the moment that matters. And we said this squad was unbalanced, but it was unbalanced with lots of good strikers. And all of them offer a threat of some sort. Rowan Vine pops up with a big one, and now we're away again. The momentum's turned, but Edwards gives it away. Coyne wins it back. Dean Morgan in behind. Can he get that second touch? He beats Malky Mackay to it. Dean Morgan, tried to do it at the near post. Ben Foster makes a great save. Good goalkeeping, to be fair. It was a clever attempt at the shot. But Malky Mackay is not as quick as the man he's come on for, and that is helping Dean Morgan out massively. Brian Dean commits the foul, and with 10 to go, we look the more likely winners now as Davis finds Berkovic, who gives it away. Not natural on that left-hand side, but it's another poor back pass. Morgan nicks in. What's happening? We've not seen a poor back pass all season, I don't think. And now we've seen two in a game. Enoch Shawumi's woes are spared. Because at right back is Graham Alexander helping out his former club. Dean Morgan with the tap-in. And now it's 2-1 to Luton. Dean Morgan finds Berkovic. And now we're breaking, looking for more. Berkovic in towards Rowan Vine. It could be 3. It's a good save from Foster. What a turnaround. And you're seeing evidence yet again of why this team is so hard to beat. It's not been a good performance. It's been a strange one defensively on the break. But we might nick a victory yet, though we've got some defending to do. Giuseppe Rossi with the cross from the right. It beats everyone. It beats all of the defenders. It beats the keeper. But crucially, it beats the attacker too. Marcus Heikkinen gets it wide to Edwards. And he flicks on for Morgan. Can we get a third to make it look better than it was? The flicks away. Marn clears downfield. They've left a few up. But Heikkinen does brilliantly. Foley clears it on further. It's up towards Brian Dean. But Chris Coyne wins the header. Over the top it goes. Rossi might beat Davis in the foot race. No, he won't. Sol Davis superb. And it's out for a throw-in. Where is that whistle, referee? Can't be much time to go now. Get the look at the watch on. Alexander throws in. Heikkinen's there to clear. Rowan Vine will chase it. Keane gets there the second time. Morgan goes wide to Edwards. Foley's overlapping, but he goes for the big punt downfield. Berkovic loses out. Heikkinen wins it. And Dean Morgan's in. What a finish this would be. But he's cleared away to Edwards on the right. And surely the whistle's got to go soon. I've no idea how much was added on, but we're 4 minutes in now. And Foley plays it down the line to Edwards. Kevin Nichols is there for the second ball. Berkovic to Keane to Nichols. This is professional. They give it away right on cue. Over the top it goes. Chris Coyne wins it. And the final whistle goes. A frantic game. An incredible turnaround. And a 2-1 win for Luton Town. What a fantastic result. We beat the rivals. We go back up to 4th. And after just over a third of this season, the Championship table is looking tasty. We're up in the race with the likes of Norwich, Palace, Hull, Reading, all of whom promoted in real life within a few seasons here. And we're up in that mix with them lot on Leeds. Leicester and Southampton are now pushing up the table. I think you're probably seeing the 7 you expected to up there. And we're managing to cling on with it. What a fantastic start it's been. And as we said, we've got a pretty famous game to look forward to next. It's a repeat of the FA Cup tie from real life that season. Okay, this one's away from home, but we're off to Anfield in the League Cup. We'll probably show the Wolves game as well. So it won't be much of a break, but it'll be 2 more big fixtures. And I'll see you again tomorrow for them. If you enjoyed this one, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Let me know who your star of the series is so far, and any names that pop up that surprise you from the opposition team. A magnificent win against the rivals to instantly recover from that Leicester defeat, the first in 11 in the league since the Reading game back in late August. Can we bounce back again, as we've got 2 more tough fixtures before we return to face Liverpool? If you want to stay up to date and find out, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. I'm loving FM06 as much as I thought I would, maybe even a little bit more. I'll see you tomorrow as we return for the action every weekday in this series, and hopefully we can pull off a real shock in a League Cup. I wouldn't bank on it. If we stay in the playoff hunt, I'll be a very happy man.